Hey folks, I thought I'd talk a little bit about our summer camp today. If your kids aren't in camp, you still may find this interesting. We do a bit of babysitting from 7:30 until 9, and then the activities begin. We start every day with a recitation of the rules. Here they are. Rule 1, bow when entering and leaving the dojo training pool. Rule 2, do not leave class without permission. And just so you know, we break frequently for water and restroom. They can wait unless it's an emergency, and they let us know it's an emergency. Listen to the counselors. We always use focus anchors instead of ever raising our voices or getting upset with the kids. And so it's one of those things that we do quite a bit to help keep them on task. Number 3, do what you're asked and answer with. Number 4, be respectful. Say yes sir, yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, and no ma'am to each other as well as the counselors. And the next rule, no arguing. That's not being respectful. Hang on, I'm moving this up a little bit. No lying. That's not being respectful. If we're playing a game and you're out, be out. If we're playing a game and you don't think you're out, but we say you are, then be out. You'll get right back in the game in a minute. Next rule, no sharing or trading, holding, borrowing, buying, or selling food, electronics, toys, blankets, or anything. Next rule, keep your hands to yourself. You are not allowed to touch someone else without permission. And the next rule, do your best. Don't be lazy. Fast and first is always better than lazy and last. And speak with kindness and uplifting words to each other as well as to the counselors. And finally, the last rule, rule 12, don't forget you're awesome. And they shout that with us at the beginning of the morning. Now, after that, we stretch. We do a tremendous amount of stretching and a variety of stretches. So we see their flexibility increase dramatically over the summer. We do strengthening exercises too, because flexibility isn't helpful if you don't have the strength to kick higher. That usually puts us to around 10 a.m. They get a water and a bio break, and then we begin the character development training. Each week we have a different theme. This week, for instance, the kids are learning about self-discipline, and we'll do some exercises that help teach self-discipline. They're actually doing it right now. Today we ask them how many repetitions of a particular thing they think they can practice. A kick or a punch sequence, for instance, jumping jacks or push-ups, and they get to pick it since it's about self-discipline and not forced discipline. Then they force themselves to do that number, in the allotted time, no matter how many it is, how boring it gets, how difficult it becomes. Then the physical training begins. And so just so you can kind of see here, they are getting after it. And some of them are really pushing themselves. Some are already done because they picked a low number, and that's fine. Self-discipline isn't about working yourself to death. It's about doing it correctly. All right, and so the physical training, we have a different theme each week. So far, we've done kicking and kicks, or tricking and kicks, boxing, parkour, and then this week is sword training, and that'll go all the way to 11:30. We reward them at that time with a game if they train hard, but the reality is games are the only place where kids have impulse control, arguments, or behavior issues. That's why our games are really disguised training. We do kick relay races, hot potato pass the technique drills, team challenges, and line sprints that are organized and fun, but structured and controlled. No arguments, no drama, it's great. At noon, they wash their hands and grab their lunches. Every afternoon, we have an after lunch digestion and downtime period, and then we train some more. People ask me why we work so hard to give such a great experience. And the answer is there are a lot of people in the world doing the bare minimum. We want to set the example for these kids to do much more. We want to raise the bar for the rest of our community as well. I'm also frequently asked why we reiterate the camp rules every morning. Why don't you do it in the beginning of the week? How many times, and I ask them, how many times does the average adult have to hear something before it sinks in? Kids struggle the same way or worse. By having concise and exact rules and by going over the rules every day, we structure their days and the expectations for their behavior. They have better days, they have more fun, and honestly, we do too. If you want better behavior for your kids at home, write up some household rules and go over them frequently. Have weekly family meetings so everyone can discuss their week, their concerns, and their growth. Communication shows you care, and we know that children thrive, everyone really, on structure. See you in class. Grandmaster out.